The thing's still broken. Paimon? What's wrong?
What was Paimon supposed to be doing just now?
Did the time just skip?
Paimon was, talking? Huh. Paimon suddenly can't remember what she was talking about.
What happened to
What was it
Paimon?
again?
What happened to Paimon? You were getting words about the situation with the Balladeer, so you started listing foods.
The Balladeer?
Don't mess with me.
Is that a food too? Huh. Weird name though.
How? No way. You're joking. No way. He pulled it off? But how did he have that ability? This doesn't make sense.
What's wrong? Your eyes are like saucers. Was it something Paimon said?
No, it's nothing.
So, the Balladeer. Is that someone's name? Cause it sounds like a nickname or something.
Is she gonna look at the broken water thing and be like, oh, now I remember? Because that would be pretty cool. If this is really happening, I need to know what else has changed. Paimon, come with me.
Okay, sure. Where are we going?
I want to go back to Inazuma.
Huh? Fine by Paimon, but is everything okay? You're acting like this is an emergency.
Now is not the time to explain. Let's get over there first. Holy shit. What the fuck? There's no way he did that. There's no way. Ah, I'm freaking out. What the fuck? Kazuha. We need to go to Kazuha. Wait, the blacksmith. We need to go to the blacksmith. What about Ayato? Ayaka? What about Toma? What about A? Did she ever even make the puppet? The Balladeer? Wait. Oh my god, my brain's about to fucking explode. There's no way this can happen. This is too much. I can't deal with this. Also, I want Xiao back. I miss Xiao. Oh, Ayato is on this team. Oh dear lord. Xiao, help me, bestie. I'm scared. Pardon me, I'd like to ask a question if I may.
Of course. Go ahead.
About the Raiden Gokaden. Would you tell me that story one more time?
Very well. I'll tell you what I know once more. The once renowned Raiden Gokaden, comprised of 5 branches. Most of the great swordsmith clans of old have since fallen into decline.
What was the reason behind their decline again?
That, my friends, is a tragic tale indeed. Only recently, when the question was on my mind, did I ask Kaedehara Kazuha about this. He told me that, as we are both heirs to a branch of the Raiden Gokaden, it was right that I should know the truth. There is no harm in telling you, but I must warn you. It is a dark and sorrowful tale.
Tell me, please, hurry up, old man.
The Raiden Gokaden were the targets of a murderous rampage by a vengeful bladesmith.
A bladesmith.
400 years ago, so I'm told, there was a catastrophic malfunction in Tatarasuna's furnace.
Yeah.
One brave swordsmith heard the commotion and chose not to flee, but he rushed to the scene, hoping to prevent a disaster.
Niwa? No, the Tori was there and killed him. That couldn't have changed, could it? I don't know.
Tatarasuna was home to a state-of-the-art forging and smelting operation in that day, and overseeing it was the armory officer. His surname was Niwa, though he had family ties to the Kaedehara clan.
I see. I didn't know that, but I'm assuming that was already the case.
Knowing that they had just one chance to save countless lives, Mr. Niwa and the swordsmith leaped together into the furnace. The furnace quickly stabilized, but neither of them made it out. The smith's death, though heroic, dealt a devastating blow to his family's fortunes. His orphaned son was left to fend for himself, and grew up deeply resentful at the world. He hated the almighty Shogun for her apparent indifference towards his father's death, and he hated everyone who had done nothing to try and save him. Powerless and destitute, the only legacy he had to pass on to his children was his hatred. If only the story could have ended there. But 100 years ago, the then head of this family reached the end of his wits. He could bear their fate no longer, and yet he could do nothing to change it. Finally, he made a drastic decision to take revenge on the Raiden Gokuden. In doing so, he sought to vent his pent-up anger and shake the very foundations of Inazuma's forging industry. In his fury, he murdered indiscriminately, killing even bladesmiths from the Hyakume clan which he belonged to. His goal was absolute, the devastation of all of the Raiden Gokuden. But when he came to the Kaedehara and Kamisato clans, his killing spree came to an abrupt end. He failed to catch them unawares. They fought back fiercely, and they did not spare his life. That is why the Kaedehara clan and their Ishin art survived that day. I suppose they were the lucky ones, under the dire circumstances.
The story has changed. Yep, the legend of the Raiden Gokuden has changed. Someone else attacked the swordsmiths. It looks like the Balladeer did something in Irminsul, but it seems Niwa still died.
Was there anything else you wanted to ask?
Have you seen Kazuha recently?
Kazuha? Why, yes. Just yesterday, in fact. We spoke for a while over some tea. He seemed well.
So he still exists. And he's still the same Kazuha I know. Things don't seem as bad as I feared last night. That's all. Thank you very much.
My pleasure.
Don't tell Paimon. There are other places you want to visit too, right? Your expression says it all. You can't hide anything from Paimon.
Oh, Paimon, little do you know.
On to the next step.
Oh my god. Where are we going? The Yashiro Commission. Are we gonna see Ayato? Or Ayaka? I doubt it.
Traveler! It's been a while.
Hello.
If you're looking for the Commissioner and Miss Kamisato, I'm afraid your timing is unfortunate. They're not here right now.
Okay.
Are they out on business?
The Commissioner is out on business, and Miss Kamisato is standing in for some meetings in the Commissioner's place. If it's urgent, you're welcome to wait inside until they get back.
Hello, dears.
Hi.
Is there something you want to say?
Ma'am, can I ask you a couple of questions?
Of course, traveler. Yes, I know who you are. Miss Kamisato has told me about you.
Did she?
What would you like to know?
How are the Commissioner and Miss Kamisato these days?
Lately, Miss Kamisato has been rather busy attending all kinds of meetings and occasionally paying visits to some local organizations on the Commissioner's behalf. As for the Commissioner himself, well, you know, busy as ever.
Ayato is still the Yashiro Commissioner. Ayaka's still the lady of the house, so no changes there. As far as I can see, nothing's changed in the Yashiro Commission either. I was expecting as much, but it's still a big relief to know that the Kamisato siblings are both safe and well.
Well, got any more questions?
That's all for now. Many thanks. If the Balladeer's dead, does that mean he didn't kill Teppei? Who am I gonna blame now? Wait.
Alright, goodbye for now. Where are we going next?
Tatara Suda.
Great! Goodbye, ma'am!
Wait, I want to know about Teppei now. What if his fate changed? I really thought this was gonna be way different. I thought Scaramouche was gonna be like, oh my god, I realized my wrongdoings, and then, like, after he knew that he wasn't betrayed, which we only just found out, but I thought that was gonna happen. So I thought it was gonna be like, oh yeah, I realized my wrongdoings, I will be better now, and then he was gonna get an Anemo vision, and he was gonna change looks, and then that was gonna be epic. I remember you.
Well, here we are. But what are we looking for? Something or someone?
Both?
Do my eyes deceive me, or is that the traveler in Paimon?
Hello.
Xavier? What are you doing here?
I was in the general area, and now I'm in this specific area.
Hello.
There, that's me. So what about you two?
We have some questions and thought you might be able to help.
Do you know much about Tatarasuna?
Certainly do. I've researched the furnace here in
Certainly
some
do.
depth. If there's anything you want to know, just ask away.
How well do you understand the history of this area?
Like the back of my hand.
Oh.
Make no mistake, I have been here a good many times before. Not only that, but I've met people in Inazuma whose families used to live in Tatarasuna years ago. They said it's all true, the history here.
Go on, I'm listening.
Did you just wake up today with a sudden burning desire for historical knowledge?
Pretty much. So can I ask you one more question?
Sure, go ahead.
Have you ever heard of a kabuki mono connected to the Tatarasuna?
A kabuki mono? No, I can't say that I have.
I'm gonna like cry. I'm like, what? He just never existed now?
But sadly, I've never had the pleasure, nor have I come across anything to do with a kabuki mono where Tatarasuna is concerned.
So there's no more kabuki mono? Did the Balladeer really manage to erase himself from history completely? If so, he must have wanted to change the world and revert everything back to the way it was, but so far it looks like the majority of changes have only affected himself. Thank you, Xavier. Time to go back to see Lesser Lord Kusanali.
Sure, but what's up with you today? Whatever it is, it seems like it's really troubling you.
It is.
Keep your smile, Spinal Crocodile. No matter what happens, Paimon will always be there for you.
I know. Thank you, Paimon.
Hey, don't mention it. Alright, let's head off and go meet Nahida.
Bro, we just had an entire history lesson and all we learned was that Scaramouche is indeed gone. I don't want him to be just erased. Who am I gonna hate now? What the heck? Who killed Teppei now? Wait! It was still the Fitsui, but which Harbinger was it this time then? Also, does this mean that there were only 10 Harbingers instead of... These guys are here.
Hey, it's them!
Hi. Wait, so it didn't change that we talked to them. Are you still talking about the, essay?
Indeed we are. If you have a moment, we'd love for you to join us once more.
Perfect, these two have researched Tatarasuna's past. Let's hear what they have to say.
Unfortunately, we haven't made any real progress.
The article that you let me read last time was great. Can I read it again?
Huh? Oh, of course.
There we go. Alright, so what has changed? Okay, there you go. Thank you, game. So this changed. A great many of these rumors revolved around the yokai, who are so very characteristic of Inazuma's folk histories. A small portion, however, repeatedly mentions the word outsider. It said outsider now instead of puppet. The mechanic often stared into the furnace, seemingly to check on its condition, and suddenly he also spent a substantial amount of time watching the local residents. So this was before, this was about the puppet, and now it's about the mechanic. Okay, wait, the outsider. This was the outsider. I think they're referring to the Tory as outsider because he was from a foreign country. Is there anything else? The mechanic. Long have I delved through many texts and documents, but I was ultimately unable to decipher any, even a specter of a clue as to his background. Well, I know who it is. Still, mentions of the mechanic grew scarcer in the aftermath of the Tatarasuna incident. I speculate that instead of the mechanic possibly being a figure woven from overripe imaginations, he actually did exist, and perhaps even had a hand in the events that took place in Tatarasuna. Oh, he sure did. Wow.
I presume you'll want to read mine as well. Here.
What changed here? The newcomer placed some lunchboxes to the side, nodded, and made to leave. Katsuragi called out after him, "Sir, what about your meal? Are you not hungry?" The man smiled upon hearing Katsuragi's words. "I already ate. I hope that you, my lords, may also find time to sate your hunger soon. You are our guest, sir. To see you help in these trifling matters fills me with embarrassment." Neo said with sincerity. The man smiled, and it was no matter. Then with a nod he departed. Naught but half an arm was left of the one who had cried out for help, and with a plop, it landed at the mechanic's feet, who crouched to better study the object, straining against the urge to take a bite. That's fucking weird. Yet, he did not, for the dark clouds swirling down had already picked the remnants of the ship clean. A second sentence, followed by a third and a fourth, each who left to seek salvation did so under foul skies and bleak fortunes. Reason dictated that they should not have risked anyone else, but the situation in Tatarasuna was severe. They needed to gain aid from Inazuma, even should it cost them more lives. This also changed because they sent the Balladeer before, and now they didn't. The content has changed. Another effect of the tampering with information in Irminsul. The Balladeer said he'd erased 2 of his names. If he really succeeded, it must have taken all of his might, but still.
Well, what do you think?
A masterpiece!
Hey, Traveler. Remember how last time Akaba was saying how he wished he could gather more information about all this? Well, we just got back from Inazuma. So how about we tell them what we learned?
Sure.
What did you find out? Something big?
Yes.
It's a long story. Basically, we have some friends in Inazuma, and...
Blah, 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 blah. There you go.
Wow. So many new details.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much for sharing that with us.
Well, well. So it all comes down to one man's desire for revenge. Huh. You heard this from a member of the Armanoma clan, you say? Then I guess it must be true. Ugh. So there's no ghost story here after all.
This new information
Why is it like
actually lends
British?
further
After
credence to my
all.
hypo-
Do you think Nahida knows this time? No, because her mind would also be erased, right? I'm so confused. Who even was the god we fought then? Was that all even real? Did we even meet up with the squad and save Sumeru? From anyone? What the fuck? Wait, there's still so many questions we need to ask. We're not ready.
Nahida, we're here!
And I have a lot of
Traveler, hang
questions.
on. How have you been?
I was investigating the situation with the Balladeer.
The Balladeer?
She also
Sounds
forgot!
like some kind of code name.
Oh no! Oh no, that's what I just said.
You look troubled. Is there something you need to tell me?
No. Yes. I don't fucking know. What the fuck am I gonna do? Even Nahida doesn't remember, just like last time. Any changes to Irminsul affect her as well. The Balladeer acted quickly. He finished erasing himself before Nahida could stop him. I'm the only one who still remembers the things that were erased. Once again, I am the record keeper.
Traveler?
What the fuck? I don't want this.
Hey, what's wrong? You look so upset.
There are things that have happened that only I can remember. I have to tell you the truth. With a heavy heart, you piece back together the story that was broken and scattered across time. There once was one named the Balladeer, created by the Electro Archon. He was a puppet who lived among men. After a series of events in Tatarasuna, the Balladeer, thinking he had been thrice betrayed, left Inazuma to roam the world beyond. With no trust for humans and only loathing for the gods, he bore his grudge for years as he grew in strength, then returned to Inazuma to take his revenge. He tried in vain to become a deity with a gnosis and ended up losing everything. Finally, he entered Irminsul and learned the truth behind his betrayal. Knowing now that his entire life was built on lies, he did the unthinkable in an attempt to reverse his tragic fate.
That's quite a story.
Yeah.
So, this puppet known as the Balladeer erased himself from Irminsul, hoping that he could change the past.
Uh-huh. And he did, but not in a good way.
I don't recall finding anyone inside the machine after we defeated it.
There was nobody in the machine? There was just a fucking machine that what?
Nevertheless, it does make sense.
So that all still happened.
If someone were to successfully erase themselves from Irminsul, the world would change to reflect the new reality.
What?
So, you believe this person really existed? And we just don't remember him because... well... because he literally changed the world?
Oh my god, Scaramouche. What the fuck?
Yes. Theoretically speaking, it is possible to do this.
Oh my god.
But I'm struggling to imagine the kind of person who would dare go through with it.
The kind of person who doesn't wish to be existing.
Paimon's having a hard time understanding this Balladeer guy's motivations. Why did he do it?
He hated himself.
I can only make inferences based on the information we've been given. As for what kind of person he was, only you remember that.
I am not sure anymore. We were enemies after all. I don't know his perspective on all of this, so I can't say why he did something so extreme. Did he want to reset everything or save someone? Or did he want to completely undo his existence? I still remember the question he asked. He asked me specifically, and my hesitation gave him his answer. I hesitated because I witnessed Greater Lord Rukkhadevata erase her own existence, but I can't tell Nahida that. To put it in another way, I know why the Balladeer was so sure it could work, but I can't tell them that.
Something else worrying you? Something that you can't share?
I just feel empty. He chose such a radical option, and yet...
It couldn't change the fate of the ones who had died, right?
Yes.
Once the Balladeer realized he hadn't been betrayed after all, it must have completely changed his view of the people of Tatarasuna. Now he saw them as friends again. He couldn't keep hating humans after that. And if he thought there was a chance he could save his old friends, it would be hard not to try.
And he hates himself, so... Of course he'd sacrifice himself trying to do that.
The Balladeer tried to achieve godhood with the doctor's help. He was unsuccessful, but retained the power to connect with Irminsul. That power then enabled him to change what was recorded in Irminsul and erase himself, even though he didn't have much strength left. Yeah, it does make sense, but it still ended in tragedy for his friends.
Also, didn't Greater Lord Rukkhadevata... We can't tell them this, but Greater Lord Rukkhadevata couldn't erase herself because it would be some kind of paradox. So she waited for Nahida to erase her. So how does that work with the Balladeer erasing himself? Is that not some sort of paradox?
It just feels so hopeless. He gave everything to do this, but it seems like he got nothing in return.
He doesn't exist anymore. He doesn't have to live through the pain, I guess. I don't... Yeah, he changed the world in many ways, and yet the dead still didn't get a second chance. Those fated to a tragic end could not be saved. What exactly did he want to fight back against? The betrayals in his life, or did he wish he'd never existed at all? Yes.
Please wait a moment. I want to check something.
He should be somewhere, right? Because you can't erase yourself.
Found it. This should be the one.
Hello, what is that?
It turns out that I have a strange way of confirming everything she has told us.
What?
What is it? A record from a personal collection. It was tucked away in a corner. You should take a look.
What is it? Surprisingly, the information is presented to you in a way that resembles a fairy tale. Oh.
Is this a fairy tale? Who wrote it?
Wait, it's a fairy tale and it matches everything that I've said?
I authored this record myself. Huh? You wrote a fairy tale that somehow has something to do with the Balladeer?
What?
When combined with the Traveler's narrative, it's clear that this story is an allegory. Everything in it is a symbol for something else.
Did she write something about Greater Lord Rukkhadevata then as well?
Hold on. So this record survived from the past? Yes. Any information about the Balladeer or the Kabukimono and other records will have been changed. But I wrote this story in a way that means it was left intact.
Wow.
Changing the information in Irminsul changes to that. But Irminsul can't change information that was well hidden in advance. I guess I must have written this story as a backup before the Balladeer entered Irminsul.
You are so smart.
That's incredible! What a great idea!
She didn't do that with Greater Lord Rukkhadevata then.
And sending the Traveler into Irminsul with the Balladeer must have been a further precaution. I knew she'd remember everything.
Wow. She thought about this. She knew this was gonna happen. Oh my god, Nahida.
This story is abstract enough that it still resonates with the present information recorded in Irminsul. But if we connect all the different pieces together, the true story that emerges is the one she told us. The now erased life of the Balladeer.
How did she know that I would remember, though? Because she doesn't know about Greater Lord Rugudevata. Or does she? No, she can't. Huh. Weird.
There was once a lone monster draped in fox fur. The monster found a family of foxes, joined them, and they became friends. Once in a while, the monster would take off its fox fur at night and lament to itself as it gazed at its reflection in the water. I am a monstrosity, yet they are too foolish to see it. I pity them. But the monster soon found solace when another came to live among the foxes who was not their kin. A kitten, carved from the wood of a white tree, who had been abandoned by the humans.
Wait, okay, so this is supposed to be Dotori then, and this is Scaramouche.
The kitten too wished to become a fox, but its tail was too slender, and it could not grow a coat of richly colored fur. Yet when the other foxes saw this, they spoke words of comfort to the kitten. Even without a tail and fur like ours, you are still one of us. Furious at this happy resolution, the monster lit a fire on the mountain. The terrified animals panicked as the fire spread. The only way to extinguish the flames was to make a sacrifice. A gray fox stood up and addressed the monster. It said, "You are the cleverest among us. Surely you can help us find a way to solve this."
Among Us. It's Niwa. It has like the little red strand of hair.
The monster smiled, led the fox toward the fire, and murdered it. The gray fox's heart was turned into a beautiful drop of water, clear, spotless, and pure. The monster gave the heart of water to the kitten, telling him, "The foxes have decided. You are the one who must be sacrificed. Take this, quench the flames, and die for your fox kin." The fire was extinguished, but the kitten lived. It left that side of the mountain and found a little bird who had a broken wing. The two promised they would spend their whole lives together.
This is about the
But
kid.
the little bird did not have long left to live.
Why not?
It passed away soon after. After burying the bird, the kitten left the mountain for good. Never again would it cherish a single creature, nor a single blade of grass that stood on that mountain. I will become the new moon, the answer to everything. Then, no one will know that there were once birds, foxes, and cats in this world. And no one can know that they were different.
That's exactly what happened.
I remember now. This is not just the Balladeer story. It is his very own memories. I made a backup so that it would be preserved no matter what happened. To become a god, he was experimented on and modified countless times. It was brutal torture, and the only reason he was able to survive is that he was a puppet. This memory was extracted from him by the scholars. Presumably, they kept it to have something to defend themselves with. Creating a deity was just the first step. Some of them wanted to be able to control it.
Wow.
That's why they backed up his memory for later use. I buried it deep inside one of my own dreams, and then hid it inside an allegorical story so that it wouldn't be altered. It's hard to believe that this person really existed.
Oh, wow.
Let alone that he tried to get rid of us on more than one occasion.
So what happened in the Delusion Factory then? And who did Yaimiko give the gnosis to then? And how did Nahida end up with the... Who did Miko give the gnosis to? If she didn't have to save me from the Balladeer? Another Harbinger? No, what? I'm so confused.
The Balladeer agreed to help me look for information about the Descenders, and although he was unsuccessful, he still helped you.
Yeah, because he wanted something in return.
Before he vanished, he confirmed an important detail. That Conria was where your twin first came into this world.
Well, you already knew that, though.
We still don't know how the change to Irminsul will affect the senior ranks of the Fatui, but in all likelihood, they won't even remember their own Harbinger.
I know, which is why I'm so confused. I've never had this feeling before. It feels like life is as insignificant as a feather.
It sounds like Paimon wouldn't like this guy a whole lot if he was still around.
Oh, you didn't.
But still, Paimon doesn't like the way it all ended that much better.
I need him to return, because this can't be... What?
When you give someone the truth, you give them a chance to choose their own destiny.
But his destiny can't be that he fucking dies, or then no one remembers him.
To others looking on, this may seem like a pointless endeavor, but for him, the chance to act on his desire to disappear must have meant a lot.
True. But it was so dangerous for everyone.
Never forget that even when we walk beneath dark clouds along a road filled with suffering, the light of wisdom is always there, guiding us toward a better destination.
Right, which is why we need to bring him back.
And that is what you have been doing all along. Yeah, Nahita's right. Cheer up. How about we go get something to eat?
No.
We can pick up this heavy conversation again later.
No, I want him to be back. Where did he go?
Good idea. Paimon, why don't you take her out for a walk to clear her head?
I don't want... I'm so upset.
You got it. Come on, Traveler. You need to get out of your head for a while. You'll feel much better after taking a walk.
Will I?
Let's go get a snack from one of the stalls in the Grand Bazaar. That'll be sure to lift our spirits.
Maybe.
It must be really tough being the only one who remembers all that.
It is.
Paimon's always here to help cheer you up.
Thanks, Paimon. I'm actually really upset.
There's a few things I'd like to look into. You should go take a walk and try to unwind.
Okay. He's gonna come back somehow, but like... I hate this. It's like bringing back the memories of when Rukudavata disappeared. And I don't like that. I didn't like him. But I can't have him be gone. Because who killed Tepe now? Like, who am I angry at now? Like, all my emotions are like messed up. And it's weird. I don't like it. And it's also like, oh, I'm the only one who remembers him again. The only one who remembers someone for the second time. Once was enough. Once was way enough. I can't go through that again, so I need him to come back. I'm just glad I could tell Nahida about it this time. And Paimon. I need him to be alive. For me to have valid emotions. Which sounds weird. But it's true. Like, I hate him. Who am I gonna hate if he didn't exist? Like, whose fault was it that everything that went down in Inazuma and with Tepe and the delusions? Like, whose fault was it now? I have a nagging feeling like there's something I'm missing. Something important that I'm forgetting.
Hey, are you gonna answer or what?
What am I forgetting? Sorry, it's just... give me a minute. I'm still processing. It's the fact that you can't erase yourself, right?
Whatever you want.
Come on, brain. Let's dig this out. It's gotta be in there somewhere. It was something about Irminsul and deleting oneself. I said this! I already said this! It would be some sort of paradox to erase yourself. You can't do that. So he can't be completely gone. So where is he? Yes, that was it! Greater Lord Rukudavata. She said that no one can erase themselves from existence. Not even her. Otherwise... why would she need to create her own reincarnation in Lesser Lord Kusanali to do the deletion for her? There would be no point. I said this! I'm so proud of myself!
Why'd you jump up all of a sudden?
Because I figured it out! No, I can't tell Paimon. Oh god. She doesn't know about Greater Lord Rukudavata. But this is a crucially important detail. It's something... it's simply not possible for the Balladeer to completely erase his own existence. In which case, the question is, what happened to him?
Excuse me, boss.
There seems to be a small problem with the last bill.
Why are you here?
Here.
Why are you here? Why are you here? I'm so confused about what's going on. Oh my god.
Hey, wait!
Did he just run?
You mean me?
No, not you. That kid. Didn't you see? Little rascal grabbed my last 2 fresh Sunsettias and ran off. Look, if you're gonna help out here, you can't keep spacing out, okay?
He works there?
What is it? The work's too boring for you?
Leave it to me. I'll find some more. Just a moment. I'll be right back.
Stop. I'm gonna level with you, kiddo. I've never met a worker who said they didn't want a wage before. And at first, I got greedy. Couldn't believe my luck. But I figured you'd start asking for something in return eventually. You don't want money. You don't take days off. And in your free time, all I see you do is wander around, taking in the sights. Are you a drifter or something?
That's right, I am.
He's a wanderer.
We can talk more about that later. First, let me get those fruits you needed. Sunsettias, was it? I'll be right back.
Hey, what do we do now?
Let's follow him.
Okay, stay out of sight. Don't let him see you.
He didn't get erased, but then what happened? Scaramouche is dead. Like, not that dead, but... He went this way. Okay, my bad. What the fuck is going on, bro? This is way too confusing. I don't like this. Chrissy, wake up. We need to fix this. Where did he go? Come back here, you mother trucker. He knows that we're following him, surely.
Yeah, this'll do.
Even though you say he's the Balladeer, what are we planning on doing? Stealing his Sunsettias? Isn't that a bit too cruel?
Shush!
Oh, alright.
This should be enough. Guess I should wash them before I take them back.
If I wasn't seeing this with my own eyes, I would have never believed it.
Huh? You two over there. Is there something I can help you with?
He spotted us.
You don't have to be scared, Paimon.
You've been following me all the way from the city. I'd have to be blind not to notice.
You're right, we were following you.
Have we met before?
No.
No, we haven't met. But you know me?
Yes.
I have no recollection.
It's complicated, but I do know you.
Are you absolutely sure?
Yes.
Sorry, but I just can't take your word for it.
I can prove it. You're a puppet.
A puppet? What makes you think that?
Huh?
There you go.
You were right. The look on his face.
I guess you do know me after all. That is not something I share with a lot of people. Look, I'm just a wanderer. But seeing as you've gone through all this trouble to track me down, I'm sure whatever it is must be important.
There's somewhere I want to take you.
Okay.
My bedroom.
But please let me deliver these goods to my boss first.
I'm sorry. I couldn't. It was right there. Okay, it was right there. The joke was right there. I didn't mean it.
He said you don't want any more for it. Is that true?
He just wants to be useful because he's a puppet, right?
Yes. I ran into him out in the wilderness during a storm.
Oh.
And he let me take shelter in his cart. In return, I said I'd be his helper for a while.
That makes sense.
That's oddly nice of you.
Let me take these back. Then I'll come with you. Okay?
Alright.
Then let's return to the city.
I'm weirded out, bro. I am weirded out.
Here you go, boss. I'll leave them right here.
Oh, you really went and picked some more. Who are these two?
Hi.
Something's come up, and they need to borrow me. Sorry, boss. I'm afraid I'll be away from the stall for a while.
I was just about to pay you anyway. I get it, okay? You just wanted to help me out, to thank me for giving you shelter from the rain that day. Even then, I don't understand why you're so adamant that you don't want any pay for it. But look, it was pouring down, and there you were, sauntering along without a care in the world, like you had nowhere to be and didn't even care that it was raining. Imagine you were me for a second. It's a little weird, right? Why is this guy traveling during a rainstorm if he's not trying to get somewhere? And why is he taking a shortcut through the open country if he's not even in a hurry?
Uh,
But anyway, taking you in didn't put me out even slightly. You don't owe me a thing for it. Certainly not all this. Your time is valuable. You know, you should go live your life.
but I don't...
He doesn't want to? Don't say it.
No, you're right. Then I suppose this is where we say goodbye.
He was gonna say, but I don't want
Thank
to.
you again for taking
Or,
me
but
into
I
the
don't
city.
know what to do.
Thanks for waiting for me. We can go now.
Alright.
To a fruitful collaboration.
Oh, I want to strangle this man.